Picture this. You sell your cow, hug your mom, and finally land that ticket to the promised land. You've rehearsed your new accent in the mirror, planned your I made it Instagram posts, only to be handed a one-way ticket back home before you can even figure out how to use the subway. Welcome to the wild, sometimes hypocritical, and often downright bizarre world of deportations, where 10 countries forcing Africans to return home are about to be exposed, roasted, and unwrapped like it's Christmas morning with really disappointing gifts. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, people get deported everywhere, not just Africans. True, but here's the kicker. Africans often face sharper scrutiny, bigger stereotypes, and harsher policies than many others. And the excuses these countries give? Oh, they range from, we're protecting jobs, to, you don't match the vibe. Spoiler, number one on our list has a history so ironic, you could bottle it and sell it as comedy fuel. Buckle up, because this isn't just a history lesson. This is a roller coaster with sarcasm as the seatbelt. Number 10. Saudi Arabia, the oil-rich boot. Saudi Arabia has enough money to build indoor ski slopes in the desert, but apparently not enough patience for African migrants. In the last decade, thousands of Ethiopians, Somalis, and Sudanese have been deported, sometimes packed onto planes like budget airline passengers with zero legroom. Why? The government says it's about labor reforms and cracking down on undocumented workers. Translation? We want your sweat, but not your suitcases. It's the equivalent of your boss firing you for forgetting to refill the stapler. Transition. From sand dunes to sand traps. Next, we fly south to a country that should be rolling out the red carpet for fellow Africans, but instead keeps tripping them up. Number 9. South Africa, the neighbor with trust issues. Here's the plot twist. One African country telling other Africans to go home. South Africa, the land of Nelson Mandela and the Rainbow Nation dreams, has seen waves of xenophobic attacks against migrants from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Nigeria. The government stance? Migrants are taking jobs. But the irony, many of those jobs are ones locals don't want in the first place. It's like getting mad at your neighbor for mowing your lawn for free. And let's not forget, South Africa once begged the world for solidarity during apartheid. Now some say it's forgotten that playbook. Neighbors turn rivals. Allies turn scapegoats. It's like the cousin who borrows your charger and then acts like you're invading their room when you come to get it back. If that's how family treats you, imagine what the strangers across the sea are cooking up. Number 8. Italy. Pizza, pasta, and deportation. Italy is the first stop for many Africans braving the Mediterranean. And let's be honest, if you've risked drowning, sharks, and human traffickers, the least you expect is a warm plate of spaghetti, right? Wrong.
Italy has one of the strictest migrant policies in Europe. And while rescue boats keep arriving, deportation flights keep departing. Politicians use migration like it's a pizza topping, popular during elections, ignored once the campaign is over. And here's the spicy part. Italy's culture owes a ton to Africa. Rome literally colonized North Africa, traded with Egypt, and now, centuries later, it's like they're saying, sorry, entry denied. History boomerangs harder than your uncle's WhatsApp conspiracy theories. But if Italy is the moody cousin in Europe, wait till you see Germany's polite but firm version of the same story. Number 7. Germany. Willkommen, but only temporarily. Germany in 2015 looked like the hero of the refugee crisis, welcoming migrants with open arms. Fast forward, deportation planes are flying again, especially for Africans whose asylum claims don't get the golden stamp. Imagine being invited to Oktoberfest, handed a massive beer stein, and halfway through the party, security escorts you out for not having the right wristband. That's the German immigration vibe right now. They call it orderly returns, which sounds neat until you realize orderly just means they've got the process down to a conveyor belt. Efficiency, Germany's favorite word. Now from bratwurst efficiency to futuristic skyscraper chic. Number 6, the United Arab Emirates. Luxury hotels, harsh realities. Dubai has robot cops, gold dispensing ATMs, and indoor skiing in the desert. But African workers? Many face deportation with little warning. If your visa expires, you're out faster than you can say Burj Khalifa. Here's the contradiction. The UAE thrives on migrant labor. Africans help build, clean, and run the machine. Yet the same people are treated like disposable batteries. Once you're drained, you're dumped. Some stories are wild. Workers lured with promises of good jobs end up with their passports confiscated, then deported when they push back. It's less Arabian Nights and more Arabian Frights. Speaking of contradictions, our next stop is a nation with holy text about welcoming strangers, yet a track record that says otherwise. Number 5. Israel, the reluctant landlord. Israel is home to many African asylum seekers, especially from Eritrea and Sudan. But here's the irony. A country built by people fleeing persecution often doesn't want to grant refuge to others fleeing persecution. Deportations, detentions, and voluntary departure packages, translation, leave nicely or we'll make you, are common. Imagine your landlord telling you, we support refugees, just not in this apartment. And here's the kicker. African migrants often end up in neighborhoods where locals protest their presence while the government wrings its hands like it's not orchestrating the whole thing. From the Middle East's hot sun to Scandinavia's icy smiles. Number 4. Norway, the polite deportation. Norway is land of fjords, Vikings, and IKEA knockoffs, known for being chill, literally. But when it comes to African migrants, deportation is very much on the table. And they do it in peak Scandinavian style, politely. Imagine being told, we're sending you home, but here's a wool sweater for the flight. Cold policy, warm manners. The kicker? Norway often positions itself as a humanitarian leader, funding peace programs in Africa while simultaneously deporting Africans at home. It's like giving someone flowers with one hand and slapping them with the other. Speaking of double standards, let's head to the land of barrettes, baguettes, and bureaucratic headaches. Number 3, France. Liberty, equality, deportation. France loves its slogans, but for African migrants, liberty and equality often come with an asterisk. North Africans especially face aggressive deportations, often tied to politics and public pressure. The irony? France colonized half the continent. Many Africans speak French better than Parisians, but when they show up at the border, suddenly, non merci. It's the ultimate we broke it, but we won't fix it scenario. Colonization was an open invitation. Deportation is the slam door after the party. Now let's cross the Atlantic to the land of the free, but only if you've got the right papers. Number 2, United States, the American return to sender. America sells itself as the immigrant's dream, but ask Africans from Nigeria, Somalia, or Cameroon caught in ICE raids, and they'll tell you it's more like a nightmare. The US runs deportation flights like clockwork, and Africans often face harsher scrutiny in asylum hearings compared to others. It's like standing in the same line as everyone else, but the cashier keeps saying, sorry, this register is closed. The contradiction? African immigrants in the US are statistically among the most educated migrant groups, but try telling that to immigration officers who see paperwork, not people. And finally, our number 1 spot, the country that loves to remind Africans about history, but never about this history. Number 1, United Kingdom, the old empire's new rules. Britain, the empire that once sailed into Africa saying, we live here now, suddenly has a serious case of selective amnesia. Africans in the UK face strict visa controls, detention centers, and forced deportations. The irony is thick. Britain once prided itself on ruling everywhere from Lagos to Lusaka. But when those same citizens show up decades later, it's, sorry old chap, not on the list. The infamous Windrush scandal exposed how African and Caribbean migrants who'd lived in Britain for decades were wrongly deported. Imagine building someone's house, raising their kids, and then getting kicked out because you lost the receipt. And yet, Britain still lectures the world on fairness and human rights. Classic. So there you have it, 10 countries forcing Africans back home, with reasons ranging from job protection to political theater to plain old hypocrisy. Deportation isn't just a border story. It's a mirror reflecting how the world really feels about migration, race, and power. If you laughed, learned, or even just raised an eyebrow today, hit that like button harder than a passport stamp at customs. Drop a comment. Which country's hypocrisy shocked you most? And subscribe, because this isn't just about borders. It's about untangling the messy, ironic, and often hilarious truths behind the headlines. Trust me, this ride, we're only at the first stop.